welcome to our channel. Today we dive into the dark and chilling world of true horror stories. These tales are not for the faint of heart. They are whispered in hushed tones, passed down through generations, each telling sending shivers down the spines of those who dare to listen. Tonight, we explore 5 stories that have chilled investigators and haunted witnesses for decades. Stories that defy explanation. Stories that linger long after the lights are out. So, lock your doors, turn off the lights, and prepare to be disturbed. These are 5 chilling true horror stories that will haunt you. Our journey begins in Adams, Tennessee, a small town steeped in folklore and shadowed by a terrifying legend, the Bell Witch. Imagine, if you will, a rural homestead in the early 1800s. The year is 1817. A man named John Bell and his family are about to encounter a force so malevolent, so insidious it would torment them for years to come. It began subtly, with strange sounds in the night, whispers, knocking, rustling. Then, the entity grew bolder. Objects moved on their own, children were pinched and scratched by unseen hands. The Bell family was under siege, their once peaceful home transformed into a prison of fear. The entity, a disembodied voice, finally revealed itself, identifying as the witch of a scorned neighbor. It called itself Kate, but this was no ordinary haunting. Kate, as the entity called itself, was cruel, vindictive. It delighted in torment, whispering threats, and boasting of its power. John Bell, the family patriarch, bore the brunt of the witch's rage. Imagine the terror, the helplessness of being stalked by an unseen entity, your every move watched, your every thought scrutinized. This was the reality for the Bell family. The torment escalated, culminating in the agonizing death of John Bell. Even after John's death, the witch's reign of terror continued, tormenting the remaining family members. It seemed nothing could stop the evil that had taken root in their lives. To this day, the legend of the Bell Witch continues to haunt the town of Adams, a chilling reminder that some mysteries are best left buried. But the question remains, who or what was the Bell Witch? Was it the vengeful spirit of a wronged woman or something far more sinister? The answer, my friends, remains shrouded in mystery, much like our next tale. Our next story takes us across the Atlantic to the suburbs of London, England. Picture a seemingly ordinary house on an ordinary street. 284 Green Street, Enfield. It was here, in 1977, that the Hodgson family found themselves at the mercy of a terrifying and unexplained force, the Enfield poltergeist. The haunting began innocently enough, like many before it, with unexplained noises. But it soon escalated into something far more sinister. Furniture moved violently, objects flew across rooms, and disembodied voices whispered menacingly from the shadows. At the center of this paranormal maelstrom were 2 young sisters, Margaret and Janet Hodgson. Imagine the terror of being a child, witnessing your home transform into a battleground for unseen forces. The sisters reported being thrown from their beds, levitating in the air, and even speaking in the voices of long-dead entities. The events at Enfield were so disturbing, so well documented, that they attracted the attention of paranormal investigators and skeptics alike. Some dismissed the phenomena as elaborate hoaxes, but others weren't so sure. The evidence was compelling: photographic evidence, eyewitness accounts from respected figures, and even audio recordings of the chilling voices that plagued the Hodgson family. For over a year, the Hodgson family endured a relentless barrage of paranormal activity. Sleep became impossible, meals were interrupted by flying objects, and the line between reality and nightmare blurred with each passing day. The Enfield poltergeist case remains one of the most well-documented and debated paranormal events in history. Was it a genuine haunting, a manifestation of repressed trauma, or an elaborate hoax? The answer, like the entity itself, remains elusive. But one thing is certain: the events at 284 Green Street left an indelible mark on all who dared to enter its doors. And as we journey deeper into the darkness, we encounter another house, another family, and another tale of unimaginable horror. Chapter 3: A House of Shadows. Our next stop takes us to the sleepy town of Amityville, Long Island. It's here, at 112 Ocean Avenue, that we encounter a story so horrifying, so deeply unsettling, that it has become synonymous with paranormal terror: the Amityville Horror. Picture a sprawling Dutch colonial house, its picturesque facade hiding a dark and bloody secret. In 1974, a year before the Enfield haunting, this house was the scene of a gruesome mass murder. 6 members of the DeFeo family were brutally murdered in their sleep by their own flesh and blood: Ronald DeFeo Jr. The motive, he claimed, were voices he heard inside the house, voices that drove him to kill. A year later, the Lutz family moved into the house, unaware of its sinister history. They were a young couple with 3 children seeking a fresh start in a new home. But their dream quickly turned into a nightmare. From the moment they stepped inside, the Lutz family was plagued by strange and unsettling occurrences. Cold spots, foul odors, and unexplained noises permeated the house. The children spoke of imaginary friends. One, a demonic pig-like creature with glowing red eyes. Kathy Lutz, the mother, experienced vivid nightmares of the murders, while her husband George became increasingly withdrawn and volatile. The family reported swarms of flies despite the cold weather, and a green, slime-like substance oozing from the walls. One of the most terrifying aspects of the Amityville haunting was the feeling of being watched, of an unseen presence lurking in the shadows, observing their every move. After just 28 days, the Lutz family fled their home, driven out by the relentless paranormal activity. The Amityville horror became a media sensation, spawning books, films, and countless paranormal investigations. Was it a genuine haunting, the residual energy of a horrific crime, or a clever hoax designed to capitalize on tragedy? The debate continues to this day, but one thing is certain: the Amityville horror remains a chilling reminder that some houses harbor secrets best left undisturbed. But as we delve deeper into the darkness, we encounter a story that transcends the boundaries of hauntings and possessions, a story that delves into the very heart of evil. Chapter 4: The Devil's Grip. Our next tale takes us to Germany, where a young woman's struggle with mental illness took a terrifying turn. This is the story of Anneliese Michel, a devout Catholic who believed she was possessed by demons. Imagine a young woman in the throes of a mental breakdown, her body racked by seizures. This was Anneliese's reality in the late 1960s. Initially, her symptoms were attributed to epilepsy and mental illness. But as her condition worsened, her behavior became increasingly erratic. She spoke in tongues, contorted her body, and exhibited a violent aversion to religious artifacts. 2 priests were called upon to perform an exorcism. Over 10 months, Anneliese endured 67 exorcism sessions. She refused food and water, her body ravaged by self-inflicted wounds. In 1976, Anneliese Michel died from malnutrition and dehydration. The case raised questions about mental illness, religious belief, and the existence of evil. But our journey into the abyss of human fear is far from over. Our final story takes us to the frozen wasteland of the Ural Mountains, where a group of hikers met a fate so bizarre it continues to baffle investigators to this day. Chapter 5: Death on the Mountain. Our final tale takes us to the desolate and unforgiving landscape of the Ural Mountains in Russia. It's here, in February of 1959, that a group of 9 experienced hikers met a chilling and unexplained end. This is the story of the Dyatlov Pass incident, a mystery that has haunted the annals of history for over 6 decades. Picture this: a group of young adventurers, their spirits high, embarking on a challenging trek through the frozen wilderness. Led by Igor Dyatlov, a seasoned outdoorsman, the group consisted of 8 men and 2 women, all students or graduates of the Ural Polytechnic Institute. The hikers were well equipped and prepared for the harsh conditions, but something went terribly wrong. Their journey began like any other, their spirits high as they documented their adventure in journals and photographs. But on February 1st, 1959, something unimaginable occurred. The hikers were scheduled to check in with their sports club, but days turned into weeks, and the silence from the mountains grew deafening. Search parties were dispatched, and what they discovered sent chills down their spines. The hikers' tent was found abandoned, slashed open from the inside as if in a desperate attempt to escape. Footprints in the snow indicated that the hikers fled in a panic, some barefoot, some wearing only socks, into the freezing night. As the search continued, the bodies of the hikers were discovered, scattered across the mountainside, their deaths as baffling as they were gruesome. Some were found with severe internal injuries, yet no external wounds. Others had strange discoloration of their skin, and some were missing their eyes and tongues. Theories abound, ranging from avalanche to military testing gone wrong, to even more outlandish explanations involving paranormal phenomena or even extraterrestrial encounters. But the truth, like the biting wind that sweeps across the desolate landscape of the Dyatlov Pass, remains elusive. The Dyatlov Pass incident stands as a chilling reminder of the unforgiving power of nature and the mysteries that lie hidden in the shadows of the unknown. Was it a freak accident, a case of mass hysteria, or something far more sinister? The answer, my friends, remains lost in the frozen wasteland, a chilling testament to the enduring power of the unknown. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed these chilling tales, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more spine-tingling stories. Sweet dreams, if you can sleep. Remember, the darkness holds many secrets, and sometimes it's the stories we tell ourselves that are the most terrifying of all. Until next time, sleep tight, and beware the shadows, for you never know what lurks within them.